Yay, everybody can see and hear me. I moved the microphone like right up to my face so it works better. And you can put your whatever it is, you can put your camera on or not, doesn't really matter. I have it set so everybody has their camera off, simply because that way it's not distracting to everybody. But if you want to go ahead and click in the bottom where it says video, you can get your video going. Or not, that's fine. I am hoping that everybody will stay muted, unless, of course, I unmute you later for questions. There will be a question answer time. And as I'm waiting for, we have 90 people registered for this. I'm not sure that all 90 are going to show up, but we do have a number of people registered. So let me just start with some basic information about who I am. I am this crazy lady that's been getting out here in the world, helping people with movement of energy. And why is that? Well, I have this unique gift where I can actually see energy. I've had it for a long time. Silly me, I thought everybody could. And so I can actually see energy as it flows, and I can trace it. Like when I close my eyes, if you're working with me, you'll see me closing my eyes and tracing it. And so I can see and notice, the directions of energy, the flow of energy. I can see where it works. There's a joke, when I'm looking for blocked energy, is one of these things is not like the other, meaning what doesn't fit. The old Sesame Strong, one of these. Yes, of course you do. So, in that, I've always had that gift. And then in 1999, I had a near-death experience, and I became extremely psychic after that, and I am able to channel ascended masters. That there are a number of us on this planet who can do it, and I am one of the people that channel them. There are two people that you probably know about, and I'm not going to mention them. But I asked, after, this 20 years that have passed, I asked them to please focus on healing for me. They do know stuff. I'm not going to lie. They really do know things. So I'm glad that they do. And they like to talk about the same things they talk about with other people, and how to best make it in this world, how to function in the world of subtle energies. They want people to understand how to be happy. There are a number of things they talk about with that. But the thing that I like them to help me with the most is I like them to help me with healing. And that's what we're going to do today. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, now that most people have been able to gather, and then we will have the replay, of course, is what is this freaking energy that I'm talking about? I mean, we're going to start right at the very beginning. What is this energy that I'm talking about? Well, the energy is, if you know anything about quantum mechanics, it's this, well, actually, energy we have always talked about. It's the flow of electrons, of subtle movement. People talk about the flow of neutrinos, which are the most subtle of the things that flow. But it's basically the flow of movement. If you want to think of it as like a creek, that's electrons that choose to hang together and form molecules, and then molecules that choose to hang together and form water, right? H2O. But that's actually the quantum level. It's all there. It's the best way I can explain it is like, when you look at a fractal, there's a very, very tiny piece, and then it expands, and it has the same pattern as it gets bigger, and the same pattern as it gets bigger. So the best way I can describe it is water. And also light. Remember, light comes in different waves and patterns and particles, and the tiniest bit of light is a photon. And the vibration of the photon creates the color that our eyes can see. Now, there's millions of colors we can't see. And so some of us are very sensitive, and we can see colors everywhere, right? But I usually have that turned off. It's like a radio station you can tune to if you want to see that. Just like I see dead people, you can tune to that radio station too. But I'm going off. So what happens in the flow of energy when you receive some energy, either from somebody else's field who's generating whatever it is they're thinking about, because thoughts are one of our bigger generators of energy. Words are another one. Actions, moments in time, those are other generators of energy. But the main thing is our thoughts. So our thoughts are generating energy, and we're sharing them with everybody. And the more sensitive of us tend to collect them, to, like little squirrel nutkins, like little chipmunks, stuffing our little bodies with energy that I'm not going to think about that now. I'm going to think about that later, in the full Scarlett O'Hara way. We're not thinking about that now. It's too much. I can't process it. I don't know. And this happens when we experience something big, something uncomfortable, something that we don't understand, that is not familiar. That's another thing that happens, which is why a lot of our storage happens when we're younger. Or something that was super unpleasant, or a shock, or it's not ours. That's the last and final category. It's not our stuff. So there are many, 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 many ways that we can get energy stuck in us, and we put it there carefully. And we're going to deal with this later. Then there are the people who I really, really love, and I call them the cleaner uppers. They are about, 10% of the population, where they feel this unpleasant energy and they absorb it into their body so it doesn't bother other people. But then you can't do anything with it. And eventually these people become very uncomfortable. Now, what do I mean by uncomfortable? When this energy isn't processed properly, it tends to migrate to certain parts of our body. And it has been collected pretty much our whole entire physical space, our physical time. And what's interesting is big moments, big thoughts can be collected and passed down through our DNA. You know, that junk DNA, that's information. The Russians have proved that years ago, about the things that were supposedly junk DNA become actual information, sort of genetic programming, as you will. And so, like, for example, occasionally when I am working with people, I will trace a thought form, a moment, a block, if you will, back generation after generation to a big event, say the potato famine, or some horrible war, or somebody being left and starving to death, that type of thing. So it's a big event that will pass through generations. And there is another way that energy can get stuck, and that's in utero. One's soul doesn't always jump into one's body while your physical body is still being cooked, but occasionally it does. You may notice, if you are a mother, that when your baby first comes, sometimes there's nobody home, and sometimes you recognize that child, like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for you for so long. Mothers can testify to that. I can. And so what happens is, when that little one is inside your body, they're absorbing all your feelings, all your thoughts, all the energy of you and your husband and the people you're around, and they're absorbing it and trying to process it for you. They just do. And I haven't figured out why that is, and my guides haven't told me why that is. It just happens. And it's not always negative. A lot of times it's positive. And they're just they're little sponges. We already know that young humans are sponges that absorb everything without a filter until they're approximately 5.5, 6 years old. Sometimes older and sometimes younger, but in that area. So we get information unfiltered, which is why a lot of it doesn't get processed. We set it aside. So the next thing I want to cover is, where does the energy get stuck? Well, if it's inside your body, the body is hilariously literal. Seriously. If it's a certain emotion, like anger, it will go to joints a lot of times. Because when you're angry, you're stiff. You don't want to bend, right? No bending for me. So knees, hips, elbows, the bendy things, fingers. some medical intuitives say that rheumatoid arthritis and other things like that have a lot to do with your relationship with others, and you're holding them accountable for slights, problems. You're still holding on to stuff from the past. Some people say that, and I am not here to say that that's true. But anger is one that will settle in the joints. And in men, occasionally anger does settle in the heart. I'm going to harden my heart to people. Anger will settle in the heart and cause heart issues. And I once had a client who had anger in the bladder because he was pissed off. Like I said, the body can be hilariously literal and silly and fun because it's been trying to tell you a message. That's what all these pains and quirks are about. They're trying to tell you messages. And so, let's think of a good example, a good story, like about an experience. Let's think of a client story about an experience. Okay, here's this. I once had a client who was a very young person, a very, very young person who really didn't have a lot of experiences, but the people in his life were having experiences. They were having a lot of experiences, and he was doing his very level best to do what all young children do, which is absorb the things around them and try to process this and heal the people around him. As you well know, some people are put on this earth to be earth angels, and they do their very level best to bring joy and healing to the people around them. And this little person was not any different from any other earth angel. And so when I discovered he was doing his best to take the negative experiences of others and process them, then all we had to do was disconnect that need, and he was able to heal. And it worked amazingly well. So that's one thing. He was trying to develop a thick skin for everybody else who had thin skins, who were feeling their feelings and shedding them out through their large auras. Remember, your feelings are shed within 10 feet of your body, sometimes smaller, sometimes larger, but you are sharing your thoughts and feelings and emotions about that far from your body. So today, a lot of people are sharing the emotion of fear, frustration, anger, worry, right? And that's why I'm doing this, is to help people understand about those emotions and try to keep them from getting stuck in your physical space. So now let's move on to the energy being stuck in your physical place. When the energy is stuck inside your physical body, you'll notice it as twinges, as pain, sometimes as gut clenches, sometimes as autoimmune issues if it's been going on for a long time. Because if it has been going on for a long time, you'll definitely know it. So in the autoimmune issues, what they said, slow down, about autoimmune. Any kind of disease process, not necessarily. Yeah, they said every chronic disease process has to do with energy being trapped in a still position, meaning not allowed to flow. They're showing me a picture of a stagnant pond. We've all seen stagnant ponds, and they go and they go and they go and they hold and they hold and they hold and they get nastier and nastier and nastier and nastier. Yes, okay, that's what they wanted me to talk about. So that's what happens when energy gets stuck. And another interesting thing, remember the rule of like attracts like, vibration attracts vibration. So when you re-experience another similar event, it will want to congregate in that same area. So every time you have an experience of a certain vibration, say it's anger, that you're going to swallow and not take care of, you're going to put it back with all the other, we're going to keep it organized inside the body and put it together. And so if you've noticed an increasing issue in your low back, the spine is inflexible, or in your stomach, it's wherever your body chose to file that moment in time, it will stay there. And so that's how you notice it. You'll notice it through bits of pain. You'll notice it through unexplained feelings. Like you can be walking along, you're perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden you're going to feel an unexplained feeling that you cannot trace to anything around. That means that your pile of whatever it is that you've shown is reacting like a boom car to a stimulus of that same feeling. And it literally is like, you know how the windows will rattle in your car or in your house when a loud stereo car goes by. That's exactly what's happening when you're getting a feeling that you can't physically trace to your outside. And here's an aside. People who are naturally anxious are also quite commonly naturally sensitive to the feelings of other people. And what has happened over their entire lifetime is they've gotten, especially as a small child, words that mean something, but feelings that are not the same, that don't match. And so that makes them like, oh, this doesn't match. This isn't right. I'm feeling very stressed, but everybody tells me it's okay here. Or I'm feeling very sad, and then everybody is smiling. It's that type of thing. I've noticed a lot of children who are highly sensitive and have parents that aren't speaking their truth. I had a client who was terribly anxious and ended up being agoraphobic as a young person. And come to find out that her parents were smiling during the day and then fighting like cats and dogs at night and hating each other. So go figure. So the truth wasn't out. She was absorbing all these things that weren't what is being told in the world. So that's one thing that happens. And now another way that things are getting stuck, boy, they really want me to talk about this. Wow. Okay. Another way things can get stuck is the rules that you create about how things work and how life is supposed to be. And we all know about those rules. The rules that were given to us when really, really young, like, all money is bad and the root of all evil, that type of thing that a lot of gurus have talked about. But then there's more. There's more of when this happens, then this is bad rules. There are a lot of those. And some of them have no basis in reality. They're based on a child's memories. And some of them do. Some of them are actual traumatic experiences. So that's another thing that is causing energy to be stuck in your body. We're not judging, whether or not it should happen. We're just stating that it actually does happen. And so when you have an experience of A and you get overwhelmed, you need to hide it somewhere from yourself so you can continue to function. That's what stuffing is. I need to press this down, stiff upper lip, that type of thing, keep on keeping on, got to do what you got to do. But then later you never go back and process it. It just sort of heals over until you randomly have a thought, right? You randomly have a thought, you'll burst out crying, you'll feel upset, or you'll do your go-to thing, like go to food, go to drugs, go to sex, whatever your go-to distraction is, until you tamp it back down. And that is the vicious cycle of stuff energy, is what they're saying. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat if I'm going too fast, because this was just a big overview on how energy gets lodged inside the body. They also wanted to mention that the things in your body that are most likely to get lodged are feelings that don't match what's going on outside of you, or feelings that are not yours, or big events that you could not deal with at the time. Those are the three most common things that end up being lodged inside your body. And what makes them even more interesting is the longer you work at getting rid of them, i.e. through talk therapy, through whatever, it just ingrains them deeper and deeper and deeper. Talk therapy is best for acute issues, not chronic. And here's what they say about that. If you're doing something that is acute, you're not sure how to feel about it. So it really, really helps to have a sounding board help you sort out the truth around it so it can be processed. But if something is chronic, you'll understand that you have a memory of it that may not be a factual memory, that may not be a truthful memory. And then on top of it, your subconscious has asked you not to go there. Beyond there be dragons. They become shadow places. They become dark rules that you can't deal with. And so by digging at it and picking at it and picking at it and digging at it and digging at it and digging at it, you're just activating that feeling over and over and over again. How many people have been to talk therapy and left feeling worse than when you started? Me. Yeah, I felt like there was a shotgun blast right through my gut. It was just never very, very good. It was not a useful thing for me. And other people may notice that too. For highly sensitive people, a lot of times talk therapy can be hard. So let's jump right into the good stuff, the methods of clearing the energy. Well, there is my favorite way, which is what I do, which is the quantum reset. And that's where I go through space and time and I find the origin of it. And I find that, the one of these things that does not fit the other. And I'll find the copies and I'll find the layers and we'll just deal with it. Sometimes I'm able to tell you what it is, and sometimes it doesn't really matter. It just goes away. And what I mean by calling it a quantum reset is basically we are taking that energy, the waves of energy, because remember, everything has a vibration. So we're taking the vibration of this energy and we're turning it into a vibration of no thing. So it has the potential of becoming anything all over again. Remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So we take that energy and we just transmute it into a no thing, into a possibility. And sometimes the possibility, if we don't clear it all the way, you create the possibility all over again with the rule in your head. That's why it can be kind of tricky. So if you're going to clear properly, first you're going to find the energy, then you're going to find the origin and the release, just like a muscle knot. You want to find the beginning and the end, clear the muscle knot, and then you want to find the rule that created it. The action is, say, if you're using your body as an example, you want to find what repeated thing are you doing to create this muscle knot, or what created thought are you doing to create this pain in your body? Because sometimes the muscle knots, i.e. fibromyalgia, are actually trapped energy. So that's where you want to clear it, is through the thought that created it. And a lot of people don't do that. And that is where the work comes in. Now, the next way, which is really, really useful, and you've seen me do it before, and that's my guided energy clearing. And a lot of people go through guided meditation. And you can even do a guided meditation for yourself. You don't have to pay somebody else to create one. What you do is you put yourself in a relaxed state. And then you can play music. You could do whatever you want, and you just make a relaxed state. This is a great way to clear. And then you quietly ask yourself, if I were to see or feel or know something about this pain, and then you're looking away from the pain, not directly at the pain, by the way. If I were to look out there and see something about this pain, what might it be? And could I love this pain enough to be able to rejoin this thing that I see out there? A lot of times that really, really helps. So you can create your own guided meditation. I did this frequently in the bathtub, where I would relax. And by the way, water does magnify anything you want to do. So the ocean, a pool, a hot tub, a bathtub, a river, a waterfall, anything where there's water, you can do quiet meditation. That's why meditation works so well in these groups, in that setting. But you can create your own questioning guided meditation simply by asking a question. If. Not how, not where, not what, but if. What is the possibility? Could I love this thing? Could I give it permission? Could I be relaxed so deeply that this thing that is so important to me, I'm going to give it permission to be free? That's essentially what it is. Because we hold it because somebody, our brain, our ego, decided it was important to hold on to it. And then we can release that importance. What's really cool is we don't even really have to see it. We just have to allow it, love it, and allow the vibration. So, what would that look like? Oh, cool. We're going to take you through a little tiny short meditation. How cool. Let's do this. So everybody close your eyes. And one of the best ways to relax is through counted breaths. I like to count to 5 in, hold 7, and exhale 9. The guides say that when you extend the exhale breath longer than the inhale breath, you're allowing the tension to seep away. And the reason you're holding is to gather the tension and release it. Never knew that. Okay, cool. All right. So let's relax and inhale, then exhale deeply. Very good. And now in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now notice if you feel a little different than you did just a second ago. This is a great way to clear your energy, that one simple breath. It feels good, right? Let's do it again. Inhale. Now exhale fully. Now in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Push it all out. Good. Notice the stillness is beginning. One more time. Inhale. Pull it all out. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Push it out. Noticeably calmer, noticeably quieter. Just notice your body is not vibrating at the same level it was a minute ago. This is a very simple tool. It's very useful in traffic, by the way. You can use it. And now that we're relaxed, I'd like you to close your eyes and sink into whatever it is you're sitting on. Feel your back sinking, your spine sinking. Feel your feet softening and relaxing. Feel your legs getting warmer and softer and relaxing. And now your hip joints are softening and easing. You're allowing the tension just to melt away like dripping ice cream. Soften and relax. And now we're going to start with the forehead. Unfurrow your brows. Soften your eyes. Touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth and breathe and relax. Now allow the softening to flow down your neck, down the sides of your body, down the fronts of your body. Let your fingers soften and relax, especially around the neck and the shoulder. Just soften and relax. Breathe in and breathe the air around your neck and relax and soften. Very nice. And now finally, allow your belly to be completely soft. Your spine just melt and relax. Breathe in one more time and let it blow out like you're blowing out a candle. Very softly. And relax. And now we're going to ask the question. If I were to see a glowing ember inside my body that represents the source of my tension, Please, Lord, show it to me now. And if you see many little fires starting, smile sweetly and love them all. But if you see one, become curious and say, I love you, I see you, and thank you for communicating with me. And now look away from it and say, if I were to see the beginning of this issue, what would I see? And a moment may come to your eyes, or a feeling, or an energetic notice. Whatever it is, forgive it. In the grand scheme of things, I'm sure it's no longer important. If you're using, life and death as the scale, is it important? Probably not. It was just a moment. And you can forgive yourself for holding on to that moment. And you can hold yourself harmless, meaning you didn't know any better, they didn't know any better, or just forget the whole thing. There's no good guys, there's no bad guys. We're just going to let it go. Just let it go. And now, as you breathe in one more time, imagine that you're seeing a beautiful light shining brightly all around the area. And you are sending as much forgiveness and love to that original place of light that was the source of the pain. You send so much satisfaction, welcomeness, welcome that place back to you. I am so sorry I exiled you. I didn't mean to put you away from me. You can come back and be part of me now. Thank you. And now relax and let it go. Don't ask why. Why is never important. What's more important is whether it is or is not. And if it is not, let's be thankful. And if it still is, then it has more information. It's as simple as that. We stack our information over time in layers, just like sedimentary rock. And so maybe you chipped off the first layer. Don't hate yourself because it's still there. You still have other layers to discover. It's quite simple. Okay, good. I hope that helps. So here is another of my favorite methods. Now that you're all relaxed, I'm going to show you the grounding and the breathing method. I already showed you the 5-7-9 breath, but there is another breath method for grounding that is very, very useful, and a lot of people use it. It's the Ujjayi breath. It's the Darth Vader breath. And so when you breathe in measured breath, like 2 in, 2 out, like that, and then you breathe to a count. I personally like 4 in, 4 out, but if you want to do 2. Really? You like the other? They like 4. Okay, the goldfish say 4. So what we were doing, I lost connection with the guides. Come on, guys, come back. The counted breath and the Ujjayi breath, yes. So you're going to breathe in breaths of 10 or 20. It's very simple. So you make the Darth Vader in through your nose, out through your nose. Very simple. And you can breathe to a same amount in and the same amount out to breaths of 10. You have 10 fingers. It's very easy. Or 20. You do 10 fingers twice. When you do each round, stop and see if you feel calmer. If you don't feel calmer, then do it again. Very, very simple. Good. And now the grounding method. This is my favorite energetic ground. Close your eyes and imagine that you have an infinite extension cord, an electrical cord, because remember, we're bioelectrical. And if we're not plugged in, grounded, like any other good bioelectrical system, we'll short out. And so imagine that you have an infinite extension cord inside your abdominal cavity. Open up the trap door of your pelvic floor and drop it down. Let it furl. And then as it drops down, notice that it's going to go all the way through the floor where you are and into the earth's crust, and then it'll stop in the perfect place, your perfect plug, and plug in. Some people go right to the center of the earth. Some people stop before that. It matters not where it stops. It stops in your perfect place. Notice how you feel. That one helps so often. And that one you can do anywhere, anytime. If you're about to go into a meeting, drop the ground. Do a couple of quick breaths, drop the ground, because this is what happens. Any energy that's coming in from other people and causing you to feel their stuff, or any energy that you're generating for yourself that isn't being processed because you're busy, goes right down the cord. You just make that rule. Just like a lightning rod will channel the energy into the ground. That's what this grounding cord is doing. Just boom, let it go and let it go down. That is one of my very, very, very favorite ways to work. And so it goes on to another way. And this is Chinchin Jujitsu. And it was created by Mary Burmeister. And I'm just going to share with you, this has nothing to do with the gut. All the guys are going to say why it works. Do we have to do that now? No. Okay, good. Let's talk about the fingers. The finger method is each finger represents, just like, in your feet, it represents an area of your body. Like this is worry and fear. And anyway, I don't remember what they all are, but this is the method you do it in. You take your hand and you hold like this until you feel a pulse. You just relax and hold until you feel a pulse. And then you switch. And you want to start with either the thumb or the little finger. And if you start with the little finger on one hand, you're going to match the little finger on the other when you switch hands. What's really cool is if you're doing this for somebody else, like your child or your husband or your partner or whoever is very upset, you can hold a finger and a toe at the same time, and you're going to hold opposite fingers and toes. And what that does is it balances the sparking energy inside your body, like. So if a child is very upset, have them lie down. Especially this works really well with like the under eights, the eights and unders. Have them lie down and you hold a baby finger, and then on the opposite foot, you hold a big toe, and then you hold for a minute, and then you switch, wait till you feel a pulse. Then you switch to this finger, and then the next toe, and blah, blah, blah. So you're doing right hand, left toe, and then you're doing left hand, right. And you're going to start with the baby. You don't start with you've got to start exactly opposite. You repeat. I hope that makes sense. So when you do like this, you're going to do like that. Or if you do like this, you're going to do like this. Okay? And then you're going to do the exact opposite on the feet. Thumb, baby toe. Baby finger, big toe. Got it? It is really, really effective. Really effective. This right here, when you need grounding, I find myself holding my thumbs a lot. I'll do like this. All my thumbs. When I need grounding, I do it unconsciously. And that's what you're doing. You're giving yourself strength and courage, and you're needing grounding, because grounding is about, being in your space, holding yourself in your space. I hope that helps. And then my final method, which I really, really love, and I'm going to take you through this very slowly because it can be done a multitude of ways. For more advanced meditators, it's one way, and for beginners, it's another. So I call it my shower method. And I have and play this game. It's fun. Like I'll not wash my hair. I've even done it washing my hair because, you gather water in your hair, and this is a lot of hair, right? But I've weighed myself just before I take a shower, and I've weighed myself just after a shower, and I have lost up to 1.3 pounds in the shower. Seriously, of excess energy that I have collected. Like if I had had a lot of sessions that day. It is amazing. So this is what you're going to do. You are going to set an intention before you get in the shower. I choose to, whatever it is. I choose to release. I choose to process. I choose to whatever. So you turn on the shower, you set the intention. And then you get in the shower and you notice just how everybody instantly when you get in the shower, they go, right? Just notice that, but allow it to extend through your whole entire being. I welcome and open and release. That's level 1. And you'll say, I welcome and open all energy that is not mine. I release at this time. Whatever you want to say. It's mine was I process only my own energy. All other people's energy can be released at this time. I do that a lot. But there are other things that you can say. Now, level 2 is close your eyes and you've relaxed. You've gone, and now imagine your shells of your aura. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? And ask your body to light the level that needs cleansing. Sometimes it's the outer, sometimes it's the next. We're like little babushka dolls or whatever you call them. We're all these little layers. So you ask your body, light up the layer that needs cleaning. And a lot of times it's the doll in the middle. And so as you reach the shower, you say, I allow and open the energy of the water to wash and clear this energy away. It helps if you want to change the color of the water, the vibrational energy of the water. Pink is the vibration of love, clearly, like a rose quartz. You want to change it to an aquamarine. You want to change it to fluorite colors, whatever the color of this crystal that you really, really want. You see what I mean? Then you can change the color in your mind of the water. It works amazingly well. Remember to create your ground so every place has everything has a place to go, down into the earth. It doesn't get, fill up your bathroom, right? Because it will. I've noticed that too. Okay, so, and then level 3 is where you want to ask yourself if there's anything coming in now, any strings, any attachments, any reverberations, any copies, that type of thing. That's level 3. So you get this clearing and then you find, well, is there more? Is there a copy that I need to clear? Is there some, these are for light workers who really know how to do this. So you want to do this and check the layers up and up and up. Do I have any more? And you want to ask the colors to come there. You want to ask forgiveness, whatever is right, whatever you're led to do. And I have, like I've said, lost more than 1 pound of energy in the shower. I don't know how it works, but it does work. That is one of my tried and true favorite methods. And I hope this helps for people. So I'm going to open up the chat for any questions, or if you want to learn how to raise your hand, you go into participants and you ask to raise your hand. And I'll see if anybody has their hand raised, or they type in the chat box and type a question. It's your choice if you want me to go over any of this. And if you don't, that's also cool, because you'll have the recording and you'll be able to have these methods explained. Now, if you want to work with me, I do offer private sessions. If somebody wants to work with me, I do work very, very quickly. And I've created this discounted medical intuitive healing package. It's a 90-day package, and it's normally $3,000, but I have reduced the price to $1,997 because of this. People need us. so much. It's 3 months of healing. And where I will take you through all this and just do this for you and or help you do it. And another thing I have is membership site where I do this twice a month where you can ask questions. And it's anonymous. Nobody can see you or hear you. It is $25 a month, or if you join at the annual level, it is $250 a year. You get 2 months for free. Cool. How can I stay calm and grounded when my kids are testing me? Are they testing you? No, your children. Okay, Naf, that's a good question. Naf's question is, hi, Sally, how can I stay calm and grounded when my children are testing me? I'm going to tell you your children are not testing you. They are reflecting your feelings, your worries, your fears, your anxieties back to you. The little wonderful, blessed little mirrors. If you remember, the Lord God will not give you anything you can't handle. Remember that rule? There's that one. But here's the thing. If your children are looking to check their boundaries, you can call them on that and say, are you bored and so you're playing with me? Or have you lost the ability to control yourselves? Treat them like the little tiny adults that they are about to grow up to. Remember, you're not raising children, you're raising adults. And so you can have them a conversation at their level with, I understand this is hard on all of us being stuck and feeling the fears. Can we talk about what we're afraid of? Can we talk about what we love? Can we talk about, you see, this is a gift. This is an amazing gift for bonding, for family bonding. If you look at it like that, instead of testing you and keeping you from doing what you really want to be doing out in the world. That's one way. I hope that helps, because the children are only reflecting your fear, your worry, and your anxiety. And so that causes them to act out. That's all. They don't even know why they're doing it. They just are. Okay. I hope that helps. Any other questions? I would hope what I said was very clear. I will say that shower method is amazing. If you already, kind of do it anyway, take it to the next level with these new ways of clearing it. And I do have one final way to work with me. We are planning a retreat. I'm going to know in the next few days whether it's going to be a physical retreat or a virtual retreat taught on this platform. If it's a virtual retreat, it'll be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, for 6 hours each, and it'll be $450. And those of you that have worked with me know that 1 hour with me is $527. So that's amazing. So you get 2 days. If it's a virtual treat, what time will it be? It'll be on Saturday. Yes, you are in Dubai. It'll be on Saturday in the middle of the night until, actually, no, it's going to start in the morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, 9 or 10 Central Time, and end in the mid-afternoon with breaks. So yes, you would be able to handle that in Dubai. You're correct. You would. And let me see, I've been feeling the work that I've been doing to release and heal has activated my abdomen and my belly to the point of feeling cramps that's true. I felt them cleanse, but with my breasts, I feel them numb. And even with the shadow work I've been doing, how can I start healing them? Guess what, Carmen? You are healing them. Sometimes, and this is common, sometimes when you are releasing painful things, it will cause twinges of pain inside your body. Even if you don't know what they are. Yeah, I'm sorry. It'll be let's just to take a word from Winston Churchill. You're going through hell, keep on going. Don't stop. Keep going. And so the numbness is a form of protection. Oh, thank you, Naf. Naf says if it's virtual, then count me in. That's lovely. I can include the links to each one of these things when I send out the replay. Does that sound like a good idea to people? whether somebody wants to do the monthly membership, which is like this is going to go in the membership. It's whenever I do a new thing, it goes in the membership. I also answer questions like this, like Carmen's, only it's anonymous. Okay, so the question, I'm going to go back to how can I start healing them? So the breasts have gone numb as a protection is what they said. Let's go back to it. This one's fears are creating, it's like a backwash. As it flows out, your fears and concern of not knowing it's a new territory are creating a backwash, and it's coming, it's like as we've seen this, you know, as one layer of the wave flows over the other layer of the wave, instead of hitting each other, they're causing layers. We've seen waves do layers, but then we'd rather have them crash and cancel out, if you understand what I'm talking about. You're creating a layer. As it flows in, it flows out, like a current. So that's a how question. Remember to ground and remember to withhold understanding and or judgment. Know nothing is the best way to work with this. Things mean nothing. They just are or are not. And that is one of the most difficult things for the human mind to do. They mean nothing. So if you ascribe no meaning, then anything can be possible. If you ascribe no rules, no physical requirements, no mental requirements, then anything is possible. That state of mind is the state of all, or, you know, all is nothing, nothing is all. It is the state of complete satisfaction. And it is the state of, how can I say? It's the state of pure being, the pure understanding of meditation. It's what all the spiritual people are working towards, that stating of anything is possible, all is possible, and nothing is possible. It's the 0 point of nothing. And interestingly enough, it's a state that we're all given by grace the moment after we die. It's true. So if you can't achieve it, don't worry, you will. Sherry is asking, is the membership available on my website? It is, in fact. Is it? Yes, it is. If you go to my website and then go to the tab that says work with me, I think it's the middle one. And there is an option where you can, it goes right to the page of checkout, and you can either pay annually or monthly. You sign up for either one. But clearly an annual is the better deal. And then it'll email you the login instructions. And next Tuesday is our next meeting. We meet on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay, Michael is asking, my virtual job interview with American Express has been rescheduled for week after next. Any insight? Keep loving it, baby. Yeah, they said keep loving it. And here's what you're going to do is, you know, there's a lot of fear and excitement. I want you to love the interview too. And don't be afraid. You don't need to go over the top. They want you to have your energy centered, and they want you to have your energy relaxed and in control. So you don't have to be like bubbly and out there, but you have to be a firm leader. They want you to be gracious and firm, and a big nurturing N is what they want, a big, big one. Okay. You're welcome, Sherry. All right, the next question is, so a lot of people think they've been exposed to the virus already and hadn't been tested. How do I get clear with myself to know if the sickness I had was CV or not? Oh, the one from that you had earlier in January? The illness you had in January was not CV? No. Let's see. Have you ever been already been exposed to the virus? Yes. You have already been exposed to it, but no, are you sick with it? No, you're not. It was a It was a coronavirus, but it was not COVID-19. I hope that helps. It was a coronavirus. And clarify if it was a sickness you had in January, because that's what we're attaching to. And Gary is asking, what was the first option you gave for working with people? I have created a 3-month package, a 90-day package that has been discounted by $1,000. And you get me to ask questions in between the sessions. It's 6 sessions. It includes full medical intuitive reading every single time. Like we can really, really get in there. And instead of it being $3,000, it's $1,997. And it is, one session with me is, as you know, goes very, very fast. And you're quite welcome, Michael says, thanks, sweetheart. It was at the end of February. Okay, so let's look at the end of February. No, somebody else must have been sick in January. Okay, Hillary. That is a no. Was that coronavirus? Guys, was it even corona adjacent? No. It was the common cold? No. It was the flu? Yeah, it was the flu. It was the flu, and it was not at all related to this. Were you exposed? Again, they're saying, yes, you have been exposed. Ooh, okay. Yeah, they said you have been exposed. Will you get? No. Again, Hillary, you're not going to get it. And this is a private question. And there's another layer. Remember, we talked about layers. And that's the answer, is there's another layer. So do the session, go through it again. Only this time, I went through so very deeply and quickly, that it would be helpful to do it over again and more slowly. And so what I think would be the most helpful is to create a guided meditation that is very slow and can be done, or for this person to create a clearing in the shower, or do the grounding and breathing method. Any of these, the energy clearing that we discussed in this session. Okay, I hope that helps. And then again, we do have the virtual retreat coming up, or the real retreat. I hope it's real. I really do want it to be real instead of virtual, but it's looking, unfortunately, like it's going to have to be a virtual retreat, because I'm going to know, I have to make a decision at least 30 days before, and time is running out. And so I only have another week or two to declare whether it's going to be in person or virtual. So the guides are telling me it's going to be virtual, but I'm holding out. I'm saying, no, you guys aren't right. I want it to be real. I want it to be in person, because working with people in person is so powerful. You can feel the energy when you're working with me just virtually. Can you imagine in the same room where you can feel my aura? It's just amazing. Carmen is wanting, yeah, she feels like everything will be okay by then. I know everything will be okay by then, but unfortunately, the airlines and everything are going to do something crazy. But I'm going to hold space for it to be cool, and we're going to have a non-virtual retreat. We're going to have the real thing, the rock and roll real thing. So, any other questions about the healing? Come to Dubai when it's all done. We will have a retreat for you here. You know what, Nof, that is an amazing idea. That is a really, really, really good idea, to have a retreat there in Dubai. Let us set that rolling. Okay, Nof? Because I know you know a number of people that would be interested. And I've always wanted to go to Dubai. Always, always. And I know a beautiful airline that goes right there. Right. So let's definitely work on that. Yes, it's true. I think that's a wonderful idea. Are there any other questions? And if there aren't, I'm going to leave everybody with a clearing, one more clearing, because we stopped and we talked about other stuff, and I want to leave everybody feeling really, really, really well. Okay. So close your eyes and hold your fingers in front of you like this. And imagine they're connecting. You can feel the energy flowing. I can actually see the energy flowing. And for me, it's red right now, but whatever color yours is, just hold your energy together right here. And feel the energy of your fingers. And I want you to create whatever color you believe is the most beautiful, folding right in the center of your fingers. Just create a ball. So you've used your fingers to create this beautiful circle ball here. Love it, love it, love this ball. Create this beautiful ball of energy. And then place it where you believe this wonderful ball of energy would do the most work. For me, it's right about here. That feels so nice. Wherever it feels best for you, in your belly, in your breasts, in your pelvic area, wherever. And by the way, that is a wonderful form of healing. We as humans can heal ourselves. We truly can. And by creating this ball of beautiful light and to place it where we believe it is most useful, we can create it for our children and toss it to them. And if we want to make a big ball, we can do like this. We don't have to do it tight. It's when you're first learning, it's easier when you do it touching. But you create your ball as big as you want, a giant ball, and toss it to our loved ones. There we go. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. And I will email you the recording. Let's hope it worked. Thank you all. I love you. Bye-bye, if I can find a bye-bye.